Okay. Hello everyone. Now we are going to discuss purification of the crude metal. Okay. Here the metal contains the impurities. Okay. Unchanged impurities. Right. The process of collecting the metal from its impure metal. Okay, the process of collecting the metal, pure metal from its impure is called as refining. It's called as refining. Refining, the process of collecting the pure metal from its impurities, from its impure form, is called as refining. Is called as refining. Okay, the refining is done by the few of the different methods. Now in our class, in our 10th class, we will discuss about these 4 kinds of refining methods. Refining means what? Collecting the pure form of the metal from its impurities is called as refining. Right? Here we have a few different kinds of refining methods. Then in 10th class we will discuss the distillation process and polling, liquidation and electrolytic refining. Okay. Now first we are going to discuss distillation. How the distillation refining can take place. Okay. Distillation can done, it is better to done which are the metals, which are the pure metals which are having the low boiling point, such as zinc, mercury, they have low boiling point. So it is easy to collect in the process of distillation. The distillation method is a very useful refining method which all the metals contains the low boiling point. The impurities should contains high boiling point. Okay, how we will answer? Then we will take in liquid form only. We will take it as in the liquid form. So it has a collecting tube. Right here we will take the liquid form of the metal, and we heat it with a high temperature. Okay, due to the high temperature, the pure metal which is present in it can be evaporated due to its low boiling point. Due to its low boiling point, it becomes as vapors and it is collected from the condenser. Then here we will collect it. Okay, this is the method to use the distillation. You have already learned the distillation process in 9th class also, right? Distillation is one of the methods. Here you have to remember one important point in the distillation. The metal, the pure one, should contains the low boiling point, right? Here it has a low boiling point. The impurities, the pure one can collected here, then impure one will remains in the container only, right? Okay, this is one of the method which is used to refining. Got it? Right. And the next one is polling. Here actually we use to take a huge containers and we heat it, okay, with the help of a furnace. Okay, right? Here it contains the crude in liquid in form, and we stir the liquid, stir the impure one, okay, stir the crude metal with the help of green logs. What? Green logs. What? green logs. Okay, then when we are stirring it with the green logs, the impurities which are present in the crude metal can releases like gases, or otherwise oxidized. Sir, here why we are using green log? Only green log. Why? Because the huge green logs can releases the gases. When we are stirring with the green logs can releases the gases. With the gases, the impurities can oxidize. And they comes out. Okay, either in the gaseous state or otherwise oxidized and form scum. Okay, or otherwise like slag. Okay, then we remove the scum from the surface of the liquid form of the crude metal. Okay, then the impurities can be present in the scum and the remaining is the pure one. This is the one of the method is used to refine the metal, that is polling. What we will do in the polling, we can stir the liquid with the help of the green logs. Why here we are using the green logs means green logs can releases the gases. That gases is due to that, then the impurities is comes out like gases or otherwise oxidized and to form the scum on the surface of the liquid form. Got it? Then this is one of the method is called a polling. Right. Here the next one is liquidation. That means here simple unit name, unit contains, we can take the impure one on the slope surface. We will take it as an slope surface. Okay, on it we will take the crude metal on it. Right, this is the crude metal. Right, then we will heat it. Okay, due to the high temperature, the metal, a pure one, is melts and collected from here. Okay, we can collect it from here. Pure one is collected here, impure one will stay here. Right, to use this process, the pure one should contains the low melting point. Okay, low melting. What is low melting point? What is melting point, sir? At what temperature solid turns into the liquid is called melting point. It melts. At what temperature solid turns into the liquid. In case of then ice and solid in state, at what temperature it melts? At 0 degrees Celsius. So water melting point is 0 degrees Celsius. Right, then at what temperature the liquid converts into the vapors? At what temperature liquids converts into the vapor is called boiling point. Okay, at one specific temperature that liquid turns into the vapors. So what is the water? Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Melting point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, right? So ice melts into the liquid at in case of at 0 degrees Celsius, and the water turns into the water vapors at 100 degrees Celsius. Like that, here the metal should require the low melting point. For example, here we have impurities, then metal melting point is 50 degrees Celsius. Let, for example, the metal melting point, like for example tin, not 50 degrees Celsius, then its melting point is 50 degrees Celsius. Then impurities melting point is 150 degrees Celsius. In such case, which can be converted into the liquid form, right? Tin is converts into the liquid form in quickly than the impurities. So the impurities still in the solid form, and this liquid, the metal turns into the liquid form, and due to the slopy surface, then the metal is collected as a drop by drop into the container. Okay, here. So in this case, the metal, pure metal should contains low melting point. This is the one of the method of refining. Okay, right. Then here we are going to discuss one more method of refining, that is called as electrolytic refining. What is that? Electrolytic refining. Here in the electrolytic refining, we will take a container, okay, we will take the container, and it the liquid form of the metal with impurities, and here we will take with the thick size of impurity copper one, and one thin size of pure copper one. This is containing impure copper. This is pure copper. Impure copper and pure coppers. Okay, this is impures. This is completely pure one. Right, it is positive and it is negative in charge. Right. Then here, when these are connected to the battery, okay, and when electricity is passed, when switch on the battery, the electricity is passed through the solution. Okay, right. Then while electricity is passed, the metal okay, loses the electrons at anode. It loses the electrons at anode. Okay, and that electrons, that ion travels towards the cathode. Okay, this is anode one, this is cathode one. Now I will give you the clear explanation. Here I have taken, for example, copper sulfate solution. When electricity is passed through it, it becomes into the copper plus SO4 minus. Okay, right. Then Cu plus. Right, here copper. How many electrons it is losing? 2 electrons. Here not only that, here it is impure one, no. Then in this impure one, the copper ions can loses the 2 electrons. Copper is loses 2 electrons here. Okay, and here the loses the copper ion and it becomes cation. The copper cation is attracted by the cathode. So these ions, these copper ions are settled on the cathode, right? And here copper is when the electrolysis process, okay, in the electrolytic process, then here copper is loses the 2 electrons at anode. It loses 2 electrons at anode and becomes as a cathode and cation, and this cation, this Cu2 place is attracted towards the cathode, towards the cathode. Okay, it loses 2 electrons at anode and they attract towards the cathode, and the copper is deposited on it. And going on this process, the copper is loses from the impure anode, and that all coppers or copper ions are deposited on the cathode. Finally, then the size of the anode can decreases. Size of the anode can decreases, and size of the cathode can be size of the anode can be decreases, and size of the cathode can be increases due to the depositing of the copper ions on the cathode. And here the impurities which are present in the anode can form at the near the cathode anode only. The impurities which are present in the anode, that all are present at the bottom of the anode only. Okay, right. This is a way to done the electrolytic refining. In this process it can collect it. Okay, these are the few methods which are useful for purification of the crude metal. These are the few methods which are useful for purification of the methods. Okay, still you have some more methods. That methods you will learn in your further in classes. Okay, thank you.